Announcer bot is active. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is second on Supers. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is third on Supers. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is P1 on Supers. Best lap is a 1:27.141. Dave B Racing is P1. Best lap is a 1:31.857. Johnny Prince is third. Toddy Mustang is first. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is P2. Toddy Mustang is P1. Johnny Prince is third. Best lap is a 3:34.316. Toddy Mustang is P1. Johnny Prince is fourth. Dave B Racing is second. Jason Short is P3 on Supers. Best lap is a 2:44.687. Dave B Racing is P3. Toddy Mustang is P1 on Supers. The Race Dictator from New Zealand is P5 on Supers. Dave B Racing is P3. Toddy Mustang is P1. Jason Short from New Zealand is 6th on Supers. Toddy Mustang is 1st. Dave B Racing is P3. Toddy Mustang is 1st. Johnny Prince is P2. Best lap is a 1:29.426. Jason Short is 4th. Best lap is a 1:59.895. Toddy Mustang is P1. Dave B Racing is P4. Best lap is a 1:30.611. Jason Short is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:27.614. The race dictator is P4. Best lap is a 1:29.521. Jason Short from New Zealand is P2. Johnny Prince is P4. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is P1. Best lap is a 1:27.094. Johnny Prince is fourth. That Canadian guy from Canada is seventh on Supers. Johnny Prince is P4. Dave B Racing is fifth. Best lap is a 1:30.412. That Canadian guy from Canada is seventh. Johnny Prince is P4. Toddy Mustang is P1. Dave B Racing is fifth. Best lap is a 1:29.910. That Canadian guy is P20. Best lap is a 72:05.328. Toddy Mustang is first. Dave B Racing is P5. Jason Short from New Zealand is seventh on Supers. Best lap is a 2:45.493. Toddy Mustang is P1. Jason Short is P7. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is fourth. Jason Short is third. Best lap is a 1:27.765. The race dictator from New Zealand is 4th. Best lap is a 1:28.493. Dave B Racing is 6th. Toddy Mustang is P1. Johnny Prince is P5 on Supers. Toddy Mustang is P1. That Canadian guy is 7th. Best lap is a 1:32.149. Jason Short is P3 on Supers. The race dictator is P4. Toddy Mustang is 1st. Johnny Prince is 5th. The qualification session is at Dubai GP in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Jason Short from New Zealand is 1st on Supers. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is P4 on Supers. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is P5 on Supers. The race dictator from New Zealand is P3 on Supers. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is P1 on Supers. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Toddy Mustang improved his P1 with a 127.928. Jason Short is provisional pole with a 127.368. Dave B Racing is 5th. Dave B Racing improved is 3rd with a 130.662. 3.294 off pole. Johnny Prince is P6. Johnny Prince improved is 4th with a 130.564. 3.196 off pole. Toddy Mustang is P2 up 0.36. Jason Short is first up 0.28. Jason Short is provisional pole with a 127.257. Dave B Racing is 5th. Dave B Racing improved is 4th with a 129.953. 2.696 off pole. That Canadian guy from Canada is 3rd up 0.12 on supers. Toddy Mustang is 2nd up 0.22. Toddy Mustang is provisional pole with a 126.839. Dave B Racing is 4th up 0.96. That Canadian guy is P3. That Canadian guy improved his P3 with a 127.907. 1.068 off pole. Johnny Prince is P5. Best lap is a 130.564. 3.725 off pole. Johnny Prince improved his 5th with a 129.795. 2.956 off pole. The Race Dictator is 6th. The Race Dictator improved his 4th with a 128.099. 1.260 off pole. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Johnny Prince is 6th. Johnny Prince improved his 5th with a 128.936. 2.097 off pole. Dave B Racing is P6 up 0.28. Johnny Prince is P5 up 0.30. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is 6th up 0.28. Johnny Prince is 5th up 0.28. Toddy Mustang is provisional pole with a 126.785. The Race Dictator is 2nd up 0.64. The Race Dictator is provisional pole with a 126.079. Toddy Mustang is 2nd up 0.55. Johnny Prince is P5 up 0.11. Jason Short is P3 up 0.12 on Supers. Jason Short improved his P3 with a 126.326. .247 off pole. Johnny Prince is P5 up 0.22. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Johnny Prince improved his fifth with a 128.748. 2.669 off pole. Toddy Mustang is second. Jason Short is third. Best lap is a 126.326. 0.247 off pole. Broadcast bot is 20th on Supers. The race session is at Dubai GP in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The race dictator is first. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is second on Supers. 20 minutes remaining in the session race start. Toddy Mustang lost P4 to Johnny Prince. The race dictator from New Zealand is second on Supers. Toddy Mustang is third. The race dictator is second. The race dictator is now fourth. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is third on Supers. Toddy Mustang is P2. Dave B Racing is P3, 2.6 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is second, 1.5 behind Jason Short. The race dictator is fourth, 1.4 behind Dave B Racing. The race dictator is now third. Toddy Mustang is P5, 0.7 behind that Canadian guy. Dave B Racing is second. Best lap is a 1:37.063. 4.655 off the fastest lap. Dave B Racing lost second to the race dictator. The race dictator from New Zealand is second, 0.7 behind Jason Short. The race dictator lost second to Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing is P2, 0.5 ahead of the race dictator. The race dictator is third, 0.3 behind Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing is second on Supers, 0.2 ahead of the race dictator. The race dictator is P3, 0.3 ahead of that Canadian guy. Dave B Racing is P3, 0.1 behind the race dictator. That Canadian guy from Canada is P3 on Supers, 0.2 ahead of Toddy Mustang. Dave B Racing entering the pits is 6th. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Toddy Mustang is P4, 0.7 behind that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy was 11.7 faster last lap. That Canadian guy from Canada is 4th battling Toddy Mustang. Dave B Racing exiting pits on Supers. The race dictator is P2, 1.0 behind Jason Short. That Canadian guy is 4th, 0.4 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang on lap 4 is 3rd, 0.2 ahead of that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is now 2nd. That Canadian guy is 3rd, 0.5 ahead of the race dictator. The race dictator was 1.2 faster last lap. The race dictator is P4, 0.3 behind that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy is 4th, 0.3 behind the race dictator. That Canadian guy is now P3. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is P4 on Supers. Best lap is a 1:29.239. 3.021 off the fastest lap. Johnny Prince is now 3rd. Toddy Mustang is 5th, 0.2 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince is P3. The race dictator is fourth. Johnny Prince is P3, 1.2 behind that Canadian guy. The race dictator is P4, 5.0 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is P3, 1.2 behind that Canadian guy. The race dictator from New Zealand is P4, 3.7 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince was 7.4 faster last lap. The race dictator is now P3. That Canadian guy is fourth, 2.0 behind the race dictator. "10 minutes remaining in the session. The race dictator is P3, 1.0 behind Johnny Prince. That Canadian guy is fourth. Best lap is a 1:28.717. 2.499 off the fastest lap. Johnny Prince is third, 0.1 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince is now second. That Canadian guy is P3, 1.0 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator is P5. Best lap is a 1:28.739. 2.521 off the fastest lap. Toddy Mustang is fourth, 1.3 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang was 3.7 faster last lap. That Canadian guy is P3, 0.2 ahead of Toddy Mustang. That Canadian guy lost P3 to Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is P3, 0.4 ahead of that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy is P4, 0.4 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is third, 0.3 ahead of that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy is P3, 1.0 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator from New Zealand is fourth, 2.5 behind that Canadian guy. The race dictator was 2.0 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang is fifth. That Canadian guy is P3, 0.7 ahead of the race dictator. The race dictator from New Zealand is fourth, 0.6 behind that Canadian guy. Johnny Prince is P2, 0.5 ahead of that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy was 0.6 faster last lap. That Canadian guy is P2, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Toddy Mustang on lap 9 is P3, 0.4 behind that Canadian guy. 5 minutes remaining in the session. That Canadian guy is P2, 0.1 behind Jason Short. Toddy Mustang is third. Best lap is a 1:27.29, 1.080 off the fastest lap. That Canadian guy is second, 0.5 ahead of Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang on lap 10 is third, 0.1 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang was 8.8 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang passed that Canadian guy for second. Johnny Prince is P5, 0.9 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince is now P4. That Canadian guy is second, 1.4 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is fourth, 1.5 behind the race dictator. That Canadian guy is P2, 1.7 behind Jason Short. That Canadian guy entering the pits is fifth. That Canadian guy exiting pits on supers. That Canadian guy lost fourth to Toddy Mustang. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is third, 2.9 behind the race dictator. The race dictator is P2, 2.8 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is P3, 4.2 behind the race dictator. The race dictator from New Zealand is P2, 4.7 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is third, 3.5 behind the race dictator. Toddy Mustang on lap 12 is P4, 3.3 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator is second, 4.2 behind Jason Short. Toddy Mustang is P4, 2.4 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator is third, 0.6 behind Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang on lap 13 is fourth, 0.8 behind the race dictator. Toddy Mustang passed the race dictator for P3. The leader has just finished the race. Jason Short from New Zealand finished first. Johnny Prince finished P2. Toddy Mustang finished P3. The race dictator finished P4. That Canadian guy is fifth. That Canadian guy finished P5. Dave B Racing is P6. Broadcast bot is 7th. The race session is at Dubai GP in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. That Canadian guy from Canada is P1 on Supers. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. The race dictator from New Zealand is P3 on Supers. That Canadian guy is P2. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is third on Supers. Toddy Mustang passed that Canadian guy for P2. The race dictator is P4. That Canadian guy is P3. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is 5th on Supers. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is 4th on Supers, 1.1 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 1.0 behind Jason Short. The race dictator is P5, 1.5 behind Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 0.8 behind Jason Short. The race dictator is 5th, 0.4 behind Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:26.842. The race dictator is 5th, battling Johnny Prince. The race dictator was 1.8 faster last lap. The race dictator passed Johnny Prince for 4th. The race dictator lost P4 to Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang is P2, 1.0 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator is 5th, 1.0 behind Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang is P2 on Supers, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince is P5. Best lap is a 129.558. 2.770 off the fastest lap. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 0.6 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator is P4, 1.0 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is P2, 0.7 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator on lap 5 is P4, 1.4 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is P2. Best lap is a 126.788. 0.069 off the fastest lap. The Race Dictator is 4th, 0.3 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 0.5 behind Jason Short. That Canadian guy from Canada is P4, 0.3 behind the Race Dictator. Dave B Racing is P6, 1.0 behind Johnny Prince. Dave B Racing was 1.3 faster last lap. The Race Dictator is 3rd on Supers, 0.5 ahead of that Canadian guy. The Race Dictator was 1.9 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang is P2, 0.7 ahead of the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator is P3 battling Toddy Mustang. That Canadian guy is 4th, 0.3 behind the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator was 1.9 faster last lap. That Canadian guy passed the Race Dictator for P3. Toddy Mustang is P2, 0.9 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince is 4th on Supers, 0.1 ahead of that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is P2, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Dave B Racing is 6th on Supers, 1.0 behind that Canadian guy. Dave B Racing passed that Canadian guy for P5. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 1.0 behind Jason Short. "10 minutes remaining in the session. That Canadian guy is P6. Best lap is a 1:28.802. 2.083 off the fastest lap. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 0.5 behind Jason Short. That Canadian guy is 6th. Toddy Mustang is 2nd on Supers, 0.3 behind Jason Short. That Canadian guy is 6th, 1.0 behind Dave B Racing. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 0.6 behind Jason Short. The race dictator on lap 8 is P3, 1.4 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang was 0.6 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang is P2, 0.6 behind Jason Short. The race dictator from New Zealand is P3, 0.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 0.6 ahead of the race dictator. The race dictator was 2.2 faster last lap. The race dictator is 3rd, 0.5 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is 2nd. The race dictator on lap 9 is 3rd, 0.8 behind Toddy Mustang. Dave B Racing is P5, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. That Canadian guy is 6th. Dave B Racing on lap 9 is P5, 0.5 ahead of that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is second, 0.5 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator on lap 10 is third, 0.2 behind Toddy Mustang. Five minutes remaining in the session. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is second, 0.4 ahead of the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator from New Zealand is third, 0.4 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is second. The Race Dictator is third, 0.7 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is second, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Jason Short was 31.9 faster last lap. That Canadian guy is sixth, 1.0 behind Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang is P2. That Canadian guy is P6, 0.9 behind Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is second, 0.8 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator is third, 0.9 behind Toddy Mustang. That Canadian guy exiting pits on supers. Johnny Prince entering the pits is fourth. Toddy Mustang on lap 12 is second, 0.3 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator is third, 0.6 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is second, 0.3 ahead of the Race Dictator. Dave B Racing is P6, 0.7 behind that Canadian guy. The Race Dictator is second, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is P6. The race dictator is P2, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince is 6th, 2.2 behind Dave B Racing. The race dictator is P2 on Supers, 0.4 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince is 6th, 0.7 behind Dave B Racing. The leader has just finished the race. Jason Short from New Zealand finished P1. The race dictator finished P2. Toddy Mustang finished P3. That Canadian guy finished P4. Dave B Racing is P5. Dave B Racing finished P5. Johnny Prince finished P6. Broadcast bot is 7th.